far hemp goes. I mean, in the early days of hemp promotion, it was capable of everything. Andi Lucas is Executive Officer of the Tasmanian Hemp Association. G'day, Andi.
Hi, Rick.
It's nearly come true. I mean, I was at parties in the 80s. People are like, hemp's amazing. You can do all this stuff with it. I'm like, you're just a stoner. I don't believe you. But it turned out they were right.
I know, it's always surprising, isn't it, when you realise you were being given such good advice at those parties, Rick?
Oh, turns out the hippies were right about everything.
The hippies were right about everything. Look, certainly from the perspective of multiple applications, nothing has changed since those conversations you had in the 80s. I think what's happened is we're now starting to move towards more common sense legislation around the crop. So really it is something where prohibition for 80 years of all cannabis unfortunately caught the old baby with the bathwater with hemp. So we've lost the sort of technology around a multi-use crop that humans have been using for many, many thousands of years. And you absolutely could build a bike. And in fact, people have built cars and all kinds of different machinery and that type of thing out of hemp biocomposites. So there's definitely possibilities in that side of the sector as well.
Yeah, right. Interesting. So you could build a bike out of it. What is hempcrete, and how many properties do you think have we got built from it here in Tassie?
That's a really good question. So I personally am really interested in hempcrete. That's pretty much the main reason I became involved in the industry as a whole. Just for a bit of context, I'm a Tasmanian person, and in 2013 I lost my place in the Denali fires. At that time in my life, I was actually splitting time between a career in the United States. So I was going back and forth between Colorado and Tassie. And in that same year, I actually lost my place in a flood. So I had a pretty shocking year in 2013. And from that life experience, which obviously has sort of changed the course of my life, I started looking into the building materials that we surround ourselves with. And I think when people have suffered a natural disaster, and, you know, my heart's breaking for everyone up in the north, it's horrendous what they're going through. And having lived through that, you become very aware that we're surrounded by a lot of toxic materials in the building products that we use, just without sort of thinking much. So I started looking into natural building products, and hempcrete consistently just came to the fore on every sort of research path that I followed. So it's incredible. It's fire resistant. That's obviously very appealing for me personally. It's also mould resistant, so fantastic for Tassie. It's highly insulated, so you've got really low energy costs when you build out of this product. And it's just got a really beautiful look and feel. So I'm hugely passionate about hempcrete. I'm actually building a couple of small hempcrete cottages over the next 12 months, a couple on Bruny Island and a few in St Helens. And I know personally many, many people who are building and have built with the material. I reckon there's probably 4 or 5 completed homes. I can't speak with absolute certainty around that. And there's certainly at least 10 to 15 being built over the next 12 months in Tassie alone, and many, many hundreds around Australia.
7:27. Can you pour it like concrete?
Look, the word
or is it in blocks?
No, it can come in various forms. The way that I'm choosing to build my structures and the way that most people in Tassie are building at the moment is you do cast the wall. So you build a normal stick frame construction house, and then you put an external form on, and effectively you make up the sort of mix on site the way that you would do with concrete, and you pour it in. So it doesn't have the same properties as concrete, but that's just a nice, easy way to describe the product. It looks and feels like that once it's set. So it's an easy way for people to get their head around what it looks like. But if you were to look at a hempcrete home, it just looks like any other sort of plaster wall. There's nothing sort of particularly different looking if you choose to render it. It's just that it's got all these incredible properties that are hidden within inside that wall.
Coming up Saturday, March 27, that's this Saturday at Waterworks Reserve, is the Hemp Association Community Education Day. There is a cost if you're not a member. There'll be a hemp-inspired barbecue lunch with hemp beer, gin and tonic and soft drinks. What else is hemp-inspired about a barbecue?
Look, everything that I do in my life is hemp-inspired, I feel, at the moment. What we're not trying to sort of really spread the word about is there's so many different aspects to this plant. You can eat it. It's incredibly good for you, really high in lots of the omegas. It's fantastic for people who are looking towards a plant-based diet or wanting to reduce a bit of their meat consumption. Very, very healthy for you to eat. The gin is being made by one of our members, the New Norfolk Distillery. They're making a hemp gin, or gin is part of their botanicals that they're using for that gin. We've got a fantastic brewery called Seven Sheds who make hemp beer, which is I can vouch for personally, Rick. It's very delicious. We're using hemp seeds inside the burger mix, so we've got both meat and vegan options, but you can use it in both. And it's just a really fantastic food product. So that's certainly one of the sectors. And then obviously people use it as I do, the fibre for building. I wasn't joking about the bike. BMW used hemp fibre in their electric cars. They've got about 23 kilos in one of their vehicles that's on the road as we speak. It really is incredible. They can use it as a biocomposite. Yeah, there's just a massive range of applications.
Sounds amazing. Look up Tasmanian Hemp Association. Andi Lucas, great to talk to you today.
Lovely. Thanks so much for having me, Ryk.
Total delight. 7 ABC Radio Hobart. I was talking